Hey, this is Don Schmidt, the Book Kahuna. Just wanted to make you aware of something for the Empower Network. Just reading the income disclaimer, and I'd really urge you to all look at the income disclaimer that's on this video. The Empower Network hosts one of the largest blogging communities and publishing platforms online, as well as provides high-level educational training, products, and services to online marketers. We also offer an affiliate program where affiliates can earn commissions off the sales of our products. We do not collect information regarding the results our members get as a result of using our products, as that is proprietary to them. Empower Network pays a commission pursuant to the current compensation plan, which is available here. The data shown below is current for the date range shown and is updated frequently. Study our commission structure and the data below. Discuss our company with professional advisors and experienced affiliate marketers before deciding to purchase or promote any of Empower Network's products. Empower Network does not guarantee that you will make any money from your use or promotion of our products and services. I urge you all to look at the rest of this page, and that is the Empower Network disclosure. Thank you very much for listening.
Hi, you're with Leslie Lane Peabody and the Saturday Sanctuary. This morning I have my good friend Don Schmidt, the Book Kahuna online, and he's going to teach us all about social media. Don has figured out a way to take one post and update to 3 different social media areas, and in fact, he's working on his 4th right now. Say hello, Don.
Hi, Leslie. Good morning, everyone.
So let me tell you a little bit about Don. Don and I met at a SEPA event here in Colorado, Colorado Independent Publishers Association. Is that right, Don?
Yes, it is.
Okay, great. So that's where I met Don. I was writing my first book, and I met Don at that event. And since that time, we've started building a friendship. And my son is in high school. He is working on his capstone project, which is the premier project that you do when you're a senior in high school if you want to. At least right now it's optional. And Brian is going to be working on writing a book, and he needed a mentor. Well, Don stepped up to be his mentor. So Don is the kind of guy that is always there for you whenever you need him. So that's how we've started our relationship, and Don recently joined me in the Empower Network. The Empower Network is how you can share your voice with the world, what you want to share with the world, and make money doing it. So we'll talk a little bit later about the income disclosures, and I'll post that online as well at the bottom of this YouTube video. But in order to do that, in order to make a living doing whatever business you're in, it doesn't really matter what business you're in, you need to know how to get the social media piece working, and you don't want to spend your life doing social media. So that's where Don's going to come in. So Don, tell us, how did you figure out how to do all of these social media things? What made you think that you could post once and update in 3 or 4 different places?
Well, Leslie, thank you for the very nice introduction, and it's great working with you. And I hope everyone has a nice cup of coffee to start off as well, because it's pretty early. But I started out in social media. I was a big proponent of LinkedIn, and I I began on LinkedIn about 12 years ago when LinkedIn was in its infancy, and I couldn't really see what the connection was because every time I went on LinkedIn to find people in my own industry, I could never find people in publishing that I could connect with that would help me in my career. About 5 years later, I got an invite from one of my staff, and I started to think, okay, well, maybe after leaving a LinkedIn profile for 3 or 4 or 5 years and not doing anything with it, maybe things social media were starting to pick up. And at that time, I don't even think it was called social media. It was just like, hey, it's a career networking tool that you can use.
Right.
So I looked at it and I said, okay, let me see how many people are on LinkedIn. And I started to find there were a lot of publishing people on LinkedIn again. I started to add people here and there, but not a large number of people. 2007, 2008, I said, now we've got a bit of a community here where people can actually get together. And I looked to see if there were any groups, publishing groups, geographically in the Denver area. And there weren't. There was no Pub West group. There was no SEPA group online at that time. So a buddy of mine suggested, why don't you start your own group? So I started the Denver Publishing Professionals, and as of right now, there are 460 people in my own group on LinkedIn.
Oh my God. I didn't
Yeah,
even know that about you, Don.
yeah. I mean, I took I saw the potential early on that you could multiply the number of people that you could get your word out to, and it only like in a networking sense. I didn't see it as a way to reach out and actually build business based on social media.
Right.
So got the group set up. Got 460 people in the group now. Fast forward a little bit. I never saw the value of like Twitter, and that was a downfall for me, because even if you don't see the potential of a social media platform,
Right.
you have to be involved with it,
Right.
no matter what, and because you may not see any upside to it now, but there will be an upside because so many other people are getting on that particular platform. It's going to be it can only help you later on down the road. Last summer, I spent 3 days at the Laptop Millionaire Seminar in Boulder, and if you've never heard of the Laptop Millionaire, it's Mark Anastasi and Stephen Essa. They went through how you can take all of digital products like ebooks, anything you make, webinars, and turn them into a valuable commodity that you could sell on your own web portal. But the one thing that they said is you have to be sure to build your social media platform and footprint. That's everyone needs to do that.
Right.
And at that point, I said, okay, let's look at this realistically and see what we're doing. My LinkedIn was about 1,000 people I was connected to.
1,000 people on LinkedIn.
That was as of the summer. Okay,
That's awesome. What is it now?
6,000.
You grew.
Yes, and I'll tell you how. I'll tell you exactly how I did that too, and anybody can do it. Okay, Twitter. I started a Twitter account back in August. I have over 10,000 followers. Facebook. I have a personal Facebook page and I have a professional Facebook page, and I have the Book Kahuna page by itself, or I have a Facebook profile that's professional, and the Facebook profile has about 260 people, which is small, but the Book Kahuna page has over 1,000 likes on it, like almost 1,100 likes.
Wow.
And what you do to actually set this up so that you're trafficking all of your comments and posts from one to the other
Right.
is when you go into LinkedIn, you're going to see that there's the comment bar on the top. Underneath the comment bar, is going to be a little triangle that says all updates. Now when you click on that, you go down to customize, and then it'll go in and you'll see a box. A box will come up. Just click the box and get rid of the box. But there will be one function that will say update Twitter settings. Then whatever your Twitter handle is, you put in there and you save it. Now, whenever you post something into your that box on LinkedIn, it's going to go directly to your Twitter and go out to all your followers as well.
So if I post something on LinkedIn and I do
Yes,
this, it will automatically post to Twitter at the same time.
yes. And LinkedIn is great because what it does, you'll get a drop-down box underneath the comment section, and you can either post it to Twitter, where it'll say public Twitter, and it'll say your handle, or it'll just say, or it'll say Twitter, and then there's another one that says public, where it would just be on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm.
But you always want to make sure that when you're posting something that you want to go in the cycle all the way out, that it goes to your Twitter handle whenever you're putting it in that box.
That's
Now,
amazing.
yes. Now,
So
before
go
you
ahead.
get to that, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to think about the reach that you just had. You said you have 10,000 Twitter followers
Yes,
and 6,000 LinkedIn.
yes.
So
And the LinkedIn is growing. I'm sending out about 100 invites a day on LinkedIn.
100 invites a day. So right now, every post you have has the potential of being seen by 16,000 people.
Yes. And
16,000.
and to put that in perspective, I'm posting my blog posts, my YouTube. That's another. See, that's the thing too. If you're doing videos, that's another angle of your social media reach. So you take your YouTube and you put it on LinkedIn after you've got it loaded up, and you're actually taking one area of social media, putting it into another area of social media, putting a little Twitter comment and blasting it out, so people are getting a comment and they're getting a video at the same time.
That's amazing. And I think the important part to note is that you're not a social media expert, right, Don? You're just a regular guy that figured this part out. You're just like us.
Yeah, I am not a social media guy. I'm a publishing guy, um, and but the thing that also played into this was when I went back to school in 2009 and started my master's program in publishing at Pace. Everything was online and everything was about social media, and all the marketing courses we took were, based on, okay, you have to get a viral response, and it's all about the content, and just you have to keep building your footprint, and that's what has to happen these days. If you want to be out there and make sure that people hear you, you have to make sure that you're building a social media footprint that's huge, and that's why I think the whole Empower Network, based on the social media that I've got covered, is going to just explode. And you know, I think it's a win-win in all different areas.
Right. And then one of the things Don and I were talking about just before this is more a theoretical, how can you do this, what can this do for you, that kind of thing. But we talked
Exactly.
about maybe if there's enough interest, if you tell us that you want it, Don would be happy to actually do a technical video and show you how the actual, walk you through the screens, show you how to do that. But that's not going to happen today. Today is to talk about the global, the strategic, why do you want to do it, in a global sense, what will it do for you, what can it do for you, but not the technical, put your name in this box, link it to that name in that box. We'll do that at a different time if you want to learn how to do that. But today is to talk about what can this do for your business, whatever business you're in. You can be in Mary Kay, you can be in Empower Network, you can own your own electric company, you can be in Jewel, you can be a coach like I am, you can be a publisher like Dawn is, you can be writing your own book like my kids are. This applies to all of us. And let me tell you, I am not even on Twitter and not even really on LinkedIn. So this I'm going to apply this week, Dawn.
Okay. It can only help.
Exactly.
Now, To tell you how to maybe increase your LinkedIn connections, one of the things about LinkedIn is that they have all different kinds of groups in LinkedIn, and you can join 50 different groups. That's the LinkedIn set amount. Once you're in the groups, you have access to all of the members in the group. You'll see at the top when you're accepted as a member, if it's a closed group, that it'll say members. You can click on it, and then it gives you on the like 15 people at a time, up to it's sometimes there are like 25, 30 different tabs on the bottom of members. What you do is you go to the last tab on the bottom, because those people will be the people that are like your second tier connections. And then you click on that, and I usually start at the bottom. You craft an email that says, hey, my name is, hi, so and so. We're in this particular group together. I'd really like to add you to my professional network. And the thing that you really have to make sure you add is, if you choose not to connect, please don't say I don't know. Okay? So you put this email together, and once you've got the email together, you can just copy and paste it. And what I do is I leave the name off. So then it's just basically a template.
Right.
And I just keep, and once you're in, you just keep hitting the browser back.
Uh-huh.
Once you send out an invite to someone, and then you just keep going back to your list of people, and you go to the next person on the list, and you send an email to them asking them to connect. And you just keep doing that. Now, what may end up happening is that LinkedIn gives you a base 3,000 invitations. Now, if you start to get to the point where you're reaching your limit on invitations, go to LinkedIn and say, hey, I need more invitations. I've got more people that I want to connect with. I know all these people. Can you give me? LinkedIn will reset you, and they've done this to me twice already, so I'm just telling you. They'll reset you to 3,000, and you'll have another 3,000 that you could start using to send out. Now, here's the other part of it. A lot of times people will say, oh, well, I don't know this person. I'm not going to connect with this person. And that's okay. And they'll hit I don't know. Now, you might start to clock up a lot of I don't knows on this as well. And if that happens, LinkedIn will step in, and you won't be able to contact people directly in your groups unless you have their email address. Okay? But here's the thing. You go back to LinkedIn through customer service, and you just say, well, I know these people. I can't tell why they said they don't know me. Hey, what am I going to say? I met these people at conferences, and so usually what will happen is LinkedIn will go back and say, okay, well, don't do it anymore. Okay, and then they reset you again, so that you can just go back in and keep adding people in the groups, and just tell them that, hey, yeah, I do know these people, and it's okay. You're building. That's how I've built from 1,000 in August to 6,000 today. And the other thing too, though, is, and anybody who's on the line, you can go look at my profile. I've been putting, and I don't think people know this, you can put videos into your LinkedIn profile. Now, if you go into my profile, you will see in the gallery, I have a ton of my YouTube videos that I do on my LinkedIn profile now. So if you've got a good profile in your industry, and people go back and they look at it, and you've got all these videos, and you're actually active and doing a lot of things to get content out in your industry, more than likely people are going to connect with you and not say, no, I don't know this person.
Right, because they want to connect with people that other people have connected with.
Exactly. And if you're out there blogging, especially on the Empower Network, if you're
Mhm.
out there getting your word out and blogging and talking about whatever you're interested in, your hobbies, your industry, and you are becoming a thought leader in your industry,
Mhm.
people like that and people want to be around that. So you will get people moving over and accepting your invites, and your own social media platform on LinkedIn will actually take off and start to grow.
That's awesome. So let me make sure that I understand. The first thing you said is connect to some big groups, some groups that you have an affinity for. So for you,
Yes.
it'd be publishing. For me, it'd be speaking and writing. So the publishing would be there. Mothers, maybe for me, that kind of thing. So you
Yes.
connect with up to 50 groups. You're limited to 50 groups. They won't reset that limit.
That's a good question, Leslie. I've never asked if they can let me go into more groups.
Okay, so you start with the 50 groups, and then when you're in the groups, then you create this email and you reach out to the people that are in the same group and say, hey, we know each other from this group. I'd like to connect with you professionally. I'd love to be your LinkedIn buddy or whatever you want to say. If you're not interested, please don't report me. I'm not exactly sure how to do that, but I'll work on that. And that's how you grew from 1,000 to 6,000 in, is that 6 months, 8 months? Since August, so that's about 8 months.
Yes, 6 months.
6 months. That's 1,000 people a month. You've grown your list by 1,000 people a month on LinkedIn.
Yes,
How
that's
long do you spend? Do you spend 8 hours a day on that?
no. If I could, and I have done it. I mean, I've sent out like 400 invites in a day.
Wow.
What? See, that's another thing that happens when you're sending out these invites. Eventually, you'll reach a point where LinkedIn will say, "This could be a robot.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
this could be automated." And then it'll switch over, and you'll have to add a security code. It'll give you like a word that's all like wavy, and
Right.
you'll have to like type it in before you can hit send, and it'll have to be accurate, which starts to slow down your process as you're doing that when you get to that point. Um, I've like I said, I did like 400 at a time where I just kept doing that even though I hit the security limit. Normally now what I'll do is I'll send out until I hit the security limit, and then I stop. And then I'll wait till the next day and do another 100.
That's awesome.
And it takes about, if you've got it set up like that with the template and you're just typing in somebody's name,
Hmm.
I mean, you can do like 75 to 100 in maybe 45 minutes to an hour.
Wow, that's awesome. And then you said that LinkedIn has LinkedIn jail, kind of like Facebook jail, but it's not as severe because they have customer service that answers and gets you out of jail free.
It takes a couple of days to get out of jail free from LinkedIn jail, but you can. Their customer service is very pliable to the people that are involved with LinkedIn, because they have to pretty much go by what you tell them. They can't say, well, we know you didn't know this person. Well, how do they know?
Right,
Or we know you didn't know everybody in this group. Well, how do you know? Maybe I went to a conference in Frankfurt or something, and
right.
and they were all there, and I met all of them,
Yeah,
or
that
I
sounds
gave it, yeah.
cool. Mhm.
I was a featured speaker at this conference, and they all came up to me at the end and said hello, and I know them now. You don't know, they don't know.
Right.
So
So on your LinkedIn, Don, are you a normal LinkedIn person, the free LinkedIn thing, or did you upgrade your LinkedIn profile?
I upgraded my LinkedIn profile, but even before that, I was doing this and adding people on. Even before I upgraded last February, but even before that, when things at my particular job at that time were not going that great,
Mhm.
I was sending out. I was doing this with the groups and sending out invitations. It doesn't matter whether you're, a paid subscriber for LinkedIn or not. You can use this method
Great.
in any situation.
Great. That's fabulous. So anybody can use it. You don't have to be a paid subscriber, and you can, in about an hour a day, grow by about 100 people a day. If you send out 100 invites, how many people accept that? Do you have an idea? 80%, 20%?
When when I first started, I would say probably 60%.
Hmm.
But now that my profile has all the videos and I would say I'm probably getting about an 80 to 90% approval rate on my invites.
Wow. So take a few minutes first, or a few hours, maybe a few days, and build that LinkedIn profile. Put your videos out there, connect your YouTube, put some blogs out there so you look like somebody they want to get to know.
Exactly.
Okay. That,
Well, and as we've discussed on Facebook, I had a very interesting connection turn up the other day where
yes, we did.
I was in a group and I sent out an invitation and the name I looked at the name when I sent it out and I said and I actually went and read the profile just to make sure and it was um, oh what's his first name, Braxton.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Braxton, okay, it's Braxton Cosby. Okay, I sent an invite to Braxton Cosby and he's in LA and I went back and read his profile and he handles all of the corporate functions for the, as he put it, the more famous Cosby, which is his, of course, Bill. And yeah, I got an acceptance, and I was like, wow, Bill Cosby's son just connected with me on LinkedIn. Now that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. I think you're the celebrity, Don. That's awesome. So in 6 months, I can build from, I probably don't have 1,000 LinkedIn, but I want to beat you. So in 6 months, 6 months from today, I want to have 6,000 followers or more on LinkedIn. What do you think? Can I do it?
Yes.
I might have to get my boys going because I still work right now.
Well, once you put this out there and say, hey, go and check out my LinkedIn profile and send me an invite and start connecting with people that way. That's the other thing too.
Yeah.
If anybody invites me, I accept. I'm
Right.
not one of those people who says I don't know and the other thing too is a lot of people have a problem with sending an invite to somebody who's got like 5 connections or a low amount of connections.
Hmm.
And I look at that like this person might be new to my industry, which is one of the areas that I'm trying to focus on
Oh, yeah.
and help. So
Right.
if this person's got 5 connections, they might just be out of school trying to break into publishing, trying to, or are new to publishing. I want to be connected to this person. So if they have 5, I don't care. Yeah, connect. That's what it's all about.
Awesome. So that's kind of LinkedIn. Do you have more you want to share with on the LinkedIn Twitter aspect, or are you ready to move to the next aspect? How to do the next level?
Okay, let's go to the Twitter.
Okay.
Now, what I did with Twitter is I purchased what's called Tweet Adder, and it's about $50 for Tweet Adder. And when you get the license for Tweet Adder, it automates all of your Twitter activities.
Okay.
And this takes a little time too, but what you do is you 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 follow people and then you put in their handle for retweets in the Tweet Adder section that has retweets. So right now I'm tweeting Guy Kawasaki. I'm retweeting Susie Orman. I'm retweeting Robert Kiyosaki. Uh, and then like popular culture stuff like Stephen Colbert,
I love
Conan
it.
O'Brien,
Yeah.
Jimmy Kimmel. Um, I'm retweeting the Pope. Okay, the
You're
Pope.
retweeting the Pope. My mom will get on your tweet list now.
The Pope. I have the Pope set in my retweets to send out the Pope's tweets.
Who knew the Pope tweeted?
Yes, he just what's within the last 4 or 5 months the Pope has a Twitter account.
I love that. I'm going to tell my mom that.
So what now to build all of this can be done. You can buy gigs on Fiverr.
Hmm.
Okay, it's fiverr.com. Now, you can whatever you want to put out into social media land. If you've got a comment that you want to get out to a lot of people, there are people that will tweet it for you for $5 to like 100,000 followers, and so you can do that. Same thing with, and I don't want to get too far ahead, but
Hmm.
getting likes on your Facebook page.
Right.
You can go to Fiverr and say and find a gig that says I will get you, 500 likes on your page. Now, you'll get the 500 likes, whether they're actually real people or not, that's a
Right.
whole different aspect.
Right.
But there are parts of Fiverr that are good towards building up your business. You can get copy written for various things. If you can get tweets written, if you don't really feel comfortable writing tweets, and you would not think that 140 character message would
Right.
be that intensive, but there is a whole science to how to write tweets that will get noticed out there in the public view. And you can find people on Fiverr that'll like put together a tweet for you. You'll find people that can put together a blog post for you. And that's the other thing too. Everything is coming from my blog,
Hmm.
okay? Because I was blogging before Empower Network,
Right.
and that was my platform for visibility. You write a blog, you do a video on the blog. Now I'm actually recording like voice MP3s of my blog posts, which will be separate and items that I can put into my Empower Network post, because I like the fact, because you can't do that in WordPress. You can't put in like a sound bite.
Really?
No. So the fact that Empower lets you put in a little, whatever you want to put in as far as audio,
Mhm.
that's a really great innovation that they've got going on.
Awesome.
So yeah, yeah. So it's how you're gonna think about getting all of the different platforms to line up in a row, and you may have to take your blog post and put it into LinkedIn. But when you put it in LinkedIn, you're going to get a thumbnail that shows up, which is going to go onto everyone's timeline. And once you've got your LinkedIn people growing, the timeline is going to be very important, because that's where people are going to get the views on whatever you're putting out. Now, the one thing is, when I post something on LinkedIn now, there's a little box on the right that I go back 5, 6 hours later, because it tells you how many people have viewed your post. And I'm getting like 200 to 300 views in like 8 hours on LinkedIn alone on a
Wow.
post. And that's what'll happen as your LinkedIn starts to ramp up, because you will get more people seeing just on LinkedIn. And then meantime, you've got the 10,000 people on Twitter, or how many you've got, that are getting that post. And then it's going on to your Facebook page, and there's, however many people you're linked to on Facebook seeing your post on there. So, and like I said, I'm just scratching the surface, because there are more things you can link together. Like like I said last night, LinkedIn, Google Plus. I'm trying to figure out how to get that linked in and automated into the stream as well, and just have everything going out to my circles. Right now, what I'm doing is I've got all the widgets on the bottom of my WordPress blog, and I will just like click the button to send it to all the some of the different um, social media platforms that aren't interconnected into my system right now.
Right. But as soon as you figure that piece out, you're going to tell us about that as well, right?
Oh, you know it.
So,
Because
go ahead.
like I said, as Zig Ziglar said, you can only be as successful as you help other people be. So in
Amen.
other words, you help people, we all help each other, and we all prosper as we're helping each other grow our businesses.
Right. Right. Did you get the thumbnail on LinkedIn to work the way you wanted to?
Um,
Or are you still working on that piece?
oh, you mean from the Empower
Uh-huh.
part?
Hmm.
Uh, um, yes, it had to do with the badass button.
Okay.
I,
So
and
for
I
those of you not on Empower Network, we have this button. So when you put your blog post and whatnot up there, they have this button because Empower Network, as a network marketing vehicle, some of the social media places don't like it. So we have this button, and it's called the Badass button, so that it kind of helps mask so that you're not blocked by some of the social media places. And if you've been active in network marketing, apparently they block a lot of different things. So that's what this is for. This is a mask so that things aren't getting blocked. So that's good. So you had to use that button, and now you can get the right thumbnail. Is that what you call it?
yes,
Okay.
get the right thumbnail showing up when you try to post. What I did with that was um, I figured once I've got it set up in the badass button, I'm I'm only gonna use that particular URL over and over again
Right.
every time I post another blog post.
Uh-huh.
So I actually went into Word and I copied and pasted it into a Word doc and saved it. And now I'll just have to like copy it whenever I've got a new blog post and put it back on LinkedIn and then write a little comment or something and set and blast it out to everyone that way. But the other thing that's great, which amazing, and let me tell you, the Team Have It All stuff that Avram and Nikki are putting out,
Hmm.
I took the one blog post that they did, I think 2 days ago, and I copied and pasted it into LinkedIn with my ID at the end,
Right.
and it showed up. The thumbnail showed up, and don't you know, within like 2 hours, I had already gotten like 3 likes on LinkedIn on that interview that Avram and Nikki did with David Wood.
Oh, that's awesome.
And what the other thing I've been doing is too, I've been going on YouTube and finding the David Wood interviews for various different things
Yeah.
and just copying the link and putting it on LinkedIn and just putting a little thing like, you know, I put one yesterday that people really liked because I said, you don't sometimes you don't get your best information from people wearing suits and ties. And you see the picture of David, he's got the long hair and the ponytail and he's in like the tank top shirt. And I said this guy is a viral blogging rock star. And
Yes.
I sent it out to LinkedIn and people are looking at the stuff. People are
Awesome.
checking it out.
That is awesome. And that's one of the things, while this is valuable for any business, if you have a business, I'd highly recommend that you join with Dawn or join with me in the Empower Network. I found the Empower Network and blogging. The whole reason I'm on this journey is because I want to be a speaker and a coach and an author. And so that's how I met Dawn, and that's how I found the Empower Network. And I knew I wanted to blog. I knew I had to do that to get my book out there, to market my book, to market my speaking career, that kind of thing. But I do not like WordPress. I work a full-time job and then I'm starting to build this business on the side. I didn't have time to learn everything I needed to learn about WordPress. And right at that time, I think the universe or God or whatever you believe in brings to you what you need at exactly that right moment. So I'd started my business, really started it about the first part of October, and then I heard about this Empower Network thing at the first part of October. And right at that time, the Empower Network was making their blog so easy. It's like Word. Okay, so you could either do HTML code in WordPress or you could type like you type in a Word document. It is so easy. So that's what I knew I needed for my business. And the Empower Network is just in $25 a month. which to me is phenomenal for a marketing tool at $25 a month. Plus, I can have as many blogs as I want. So I have a blog for my business. My children have a blog for their business because I'm getting them involved in their business. The son I told you about that's working with Don, he's writing his book for his capstone project, right? So he's got his own blog page. I'm also blogging for a driving school because I have two 17-year-olds and a 15-year-old, and I don't know about you, but I am not a good driving teacher, so I want some man to teach my boys how to drive. Well, that man doesn't know the first thing about social media. His page is so ugly. I got him to allow me to do his social media for him, and he'll teach my children how to drive for free. I think that is quite a goal. So, some of these things, it's just amazing how you learn about these things. And then Don and I, we kind of connected. He's been blogging forever. And then I pulled him into the Empower Network just in the last month because I think he's got such a voice and such a vision that this network is going to help him expand his reach astronomically and share his vision and his voice with the world, because there are 70 million other people, not 70 million, I actually don't know how many other people are doing the Empower Network. $70 million is what they made last year. I will post below this the income disclosure. But millionaires are being made every week in this Empower Network. We had 2 new millionaires last week, people that passed the $1 million threshold, and the company's been around for about 2 years. And they'll be around for a good long time because this is getting people's voices out. Just like for you, right, Don?
Exactly. And I'm not the greatest speaker as yet. I'm in Toastmasters and learning, which is another angle. But I've always loved to write. I mean, I can just sit down and write an incredible amount. And I was already blogging, and it just seemed like a natural extension to just get into Empower because, I'm doing it anyway. So why not, enhance possibly my financial outlook while I'm doing this? Like I said, I've got a WordPress site that's got over 140 blog posts on it now, and yeah, I hit 140 like yesterday.
Congrats! That's
Thank
awesome.
you, thank you. And also videos. I've got like almost 80 YouTube videos on different publishing aspects done. Um, and I said, it's time to think about something else. Think differently. That's what it's all about. The economy's not going to get any better, and if you don't actually take the bull by the horns and start doing things on your own to like really get out there and try and innovate and do something that's not on the beaten track, that's the way to go.
Right, right. And so what you kind of bring to us and to our team is the knowledge of a man who's been working on how to build these humongous networks, how to build all these people who listen and like what he has to say. How many people do you know that have 6,000 LinkedIn people and 10,000 Twitter? I mean, you have to be a rock star to do that. So this is so awesome that Don is willing to share with us some of his tips and tricks, because I am not there. I just hit 300 likes on my Facebook profile this morning, my business profile, Ninjas in High Heels, and I was like celebrating at 5 this morning. Woohoo! I hit 301! But that's a long way from 10,000.
Yeah, and you have a really nice page too, the way it's set up and everything. It's great. The design that you put into it.
I love that. Yeah, somebody I didn't know this morning connected with me. I don't know, you're a guy, so you might not care about that, but he said, the picture with you holding your high heels is gorgeous. I'm like, well, thank you. I needed that at 5 in the morning on a Saturday. How many people say that to you? I'm like, cool. I'm going to keep that picture forever, I told him. Awesome. Okay, so what was your trick for Twitter? How did you build 10,000 in Twitter? Was that through Fiverr?
It was.
Okay.
But, and here's the big but, when even if you do a gig and you get a lot of Twitter followers, a lot of the Twitter followers are, like if you do a Fiverr gig, you're going to get a lot of Twitter followers that are in like Russia, the Ukraine. You're going to see a lot of Cyrillic
Hmm.
letters, and you don't know if they're really, actual Twitter followers or not. And apparently, even people who have a huge following of Twitter followers, about 35% of those Twitter followers are like not real. That's, they're not real.
Hmm.
So what ends up happening is the Twitter followers that are not real eventually start to drop off. But if your a number of Twitter followers stays the same because you're actively putting out tweets and people are responding, and you continue to build real Twitter followers based on the interactions you have on Twitter. So you may start out with a lot of fake followers,
Hmm.
but those fake followers will fall off and be filled in with real followers over time.
Awesome. That's good to know because what you really want are the people that are real and that are interactive with you.
Exactly.
Those are the ones you want. That's interesting because I have a blog post I'm going to write this weekend and I cannot remember the man's name, so you're going to have to watch my blog for this. But it was a man who did a study on Facebook, and that he did like the fake Fiverr type thing and got tons of Facebook ads, right? He got tons of Facebook people from
Right.
that Fiverr or the fake thing. Then he paid for Facebook ads, and he got the same number in those strange, Ukrainian, that kind of strange countries. So,
You're
he
not
didn't
strange
come
if you
out and
live
say
there,
that,
though.
but he said maybe you shouldn't be paying for your Facebook ads. I mean, he didn't come out and say that for sure, but it was interesting that the percentages were very similar of his organic or actual followers and interactive people versus the people that are out there on the fringes that are probably just bots or, people in a sweatshop liking you or whatever.
Right. I think the way that you grow on your Facebook is you're connected to people like yourself who has a lot of Facebook. You've got like what, 1,300 Facebook followers,
I have
Facebook connections,
1,300 friends, and on
friends.
my business page, I just hit 300 today. So I have friends. I built my friends first, 1,300, yeah.
Now on your page though, have you like sent out invites to everybody that's your friend to like your page?
No, I haven't done that because I'm trying to keep a certain amount of distance. I haven't figured out strategically what's the difference between my friends and what's the difference between my business page. So my business page, I send out event things like this, that kind of thing, but I don't really send out the stupid things like why did the chicken cross the road or the fun things. I still keep that on my friend page, those stupid little posts that you do. So I'm trying to strategically figure out, what I should do there. Because my business page is pretty much geared toward women, ninjas in high heels. I have more affinity towards women than I do towards men, although I love men and they're welcome. I'm a
I
little,
liked your page.
of course you did, because we're fun. But then when I slam them in, and talk about shoes, maybe you don't kind of connect with me so much there.
No,
Or
probably
maybe
not.
you do and I don't want to know that about you.
Well, we'll leave that for another Google session.
Another conversation. Another conversation. Right. And that just brought up another conversation. We were talking a few minutes ago about how many different blogs you can have on Empower Network, and I don't think there's a limit. I certainly haven't hit it yet. And my youngest son, who's 15, he just informed me yesterday that he wants to be an activist, and he wants to be an activist in this one area. I'm like, fine, I'll set up a blog for you. So, you don't have to limit what you blog about. You can blog as different personas if you're trying to figure out who you are and who you want to be. Like I have one blog for ninjas in high heels, but then I have another blog called Ninja Mobile Money, which
Mhm.
is more attributable to my Empower Network because men and women can both use Empower Network, but my coaching business is more geared and my speaking business is more geared towards the female population. But to me, the Empower Network is geared towards any business person, and it doesn't limit you. And you also said something that I think is worth mentioning. If you decide you want to grow your business, whatever it happens to be, with Dawn and I in the Empower Network, we have weekly meetings where we sit together and we coach. Every Thursday at 3 o'clock Mountain Time, we get coached by our uplines. Now, our uplines, Avram and Nikki, Dawn didn't tell you this, but if you go to my Facebook page, you'll see this. They are kind of hippies. They're a little weird out there, aliens, that kind of thing. Um, and these people, they made $180,000 last year through organic marketing, no paid advertising. Income disclosure will be posted below, of course, but $180,000 through blogging, their voice, whatever that is. Don talked a little bit about David Wood, who is the founder of the company. He has made more than $77 million with this company since it was founded in 2011. He made $1 million like within the first 4 to 6 months. I can't remember. It's on the blog post that Don just shared. Don is telling you about the blog post. But the interesting thing about this is it doesn't matter who you are. You can be weird and wacky and a hippie Jedi who just hit the $1 million mark when I was in Miami last month, or you can be like Tracy Walker, a pregnant woman with her first child. She's black, a black pregnant woman, hit the $1 million mark at the Miami conference as well, and she's very businesslike, very professional. She used to be, I believe she used to be in real estate, and now she's moved on to the Empower Network. So we have both ends of the spectrum, very ultra professional and very ultra hippie, and both sides are very successful, and everybody in between is successful too, but they're successful because it allows you to speak your voice and who you are and share your gift. Whatever your gift is, share your gift with the world. So you can be an activist, or you can be a helper like Don is and want to share everything you know about the publishing business with people so they don't have to struggle like he did. And he mentors people in his side time, you know, when he has a few extra minutes here or there. He mentors people like my son on how to do that. So it's really phenomenal and amazing what you can do with that. Now, Don, tell us a little bit about your new radio program too, because people might want to hear about how you're growing into that side of your business.
Well, on the radio side, I've been in discussions with Velocity Radio down in Castle Rock, Colorado, for an internet radio show based on everything about publishing, and it's going to be happening probably within the next few weeks, maybe a month or two. But it's going to be an hour-long show, and I'm not sure what day it's going to be on, so I can't give any information about that yet. But we're just going to have guests and people call in, and it's going to be based on what's happening in self-publishing, what's happening with ebooks and enhanced ebooks and everything within the industry, and how different things are from 20, 30 years ago, and what's changing, and what people have to look out for, and I'm going to cover the gamut.
That's awesome.
Whatever people want to talk about.
That is really awesome. So we have another 8 minutes. What kind of parting words of wisdom do you have for us who need to work on our social media? Where would you start?
Well, I have one comment to go back about David Wood, and it was an interesting comment that Avram made in our meeting the other day about how David Wood has been a little distracted for the last year.
Right.
And he wasn't like all in, but now he's all in. And I'm like, wow, if this guy was distracted and was making like what, $70 million, I'm going to be amazed to see what happens when he like puts it all in to see what he's going to do.
Right. And for those of you who don't know, David Wood, as the founder, he went through some personal issues this last year. He just had a baby, I want to say within the last 2 or 3 weeks, since Miami. Miami was January 24th or so. So between that time and now, he had a brand new baby, and he has just rededicated himself to this business. And as part of that rededication, he's helping us to grow our own businesses. So if you've been in Mary Kay or Amway or Jewel or 31 or Arbonne or any of those kind of things. It's the same type of thing. But our upline, he writes blog posts for us. So if you haven't checked out one of his blog posts, either go to Don's site or come to my site, and you can check out this blog post that he had with Avram and Nikki. He had a 1 hour hangout, and they talk about aliens, and they talk about their businesses, and it's just a riot. You have a good time when you sit on the phone and listen to them. You learn a lot, but you do it in a fun environment, right, Don?
Yes, extremely fun. Um, and it's a very team-oriented call. Like
It,
you feel part of it, and you feel like everybody is pulling for each other to succeed. And and then when Sandy Levesque gets involved and starts giving her insights into what she's doing, and
yeah,
it's just an amazing group of people. And like Nikki's always saying, we're all different, and we all have different spirituality and different views on politics or whatever. But you know what? We're all like working together as one unit, and everybody can work together like that and be successful. So why not? That's what I say. Why not? Let's do it.
it's awesome. And Don wasn't there for the last meeting. He joined after we went to Miami. So you don't see pictures of him with the entire team. But if you go to my page, you're going to see members of the team. We get together every 3 or 4 months, and we try and come together within the nation so that we meet each other face to face. And there's so much power in getting together physically. It's great to get on a Google Hangout, and you get a lot of spirituality and you feel it, but you really, really connect with those people when you go out of town and you meet them face to face, and you start lifelong friendships. In fact, from going out of town to Miami, 4 of us moms created this Empowered Moms Google Hangout. So I know that if you decide to join this team with Don or with I, you're going to find the support and the community. Don's already building a community, and he spent the whole day really talking about community, but you will find this community to back you. And just like Don and I are coordinating on this today, you'll find somebody, so you don't have to do everything on your own. You'll find somebody to do a hangout with you. You'll find somebody to do training with you. You'll find a team. You're not on your own. We all help each other. We step in and we work together. And it's like coming home. You feel like you've arrived home because there's always somebody there to help and to care. One of my girlfriends, her cat is going through a severe physical crisis, terminal illness, frankly. We're all there to support her. It doesn't matter what you have going on in your life. We're all there. It's like we're best friends, and some of us haven't even met each other face to face. It's awesome.
Have we actually met face to face?
We met face to face once, and that's the very first time and the only time I went to the SEPA conference, but we didn't really know each other, right? I did the happy handshaking with everybody there that day, and that was it.
Right, right. So it's like, okay, we might have shaken hands and like very quick, and that's it.
Right.
Now it's
right.
all been like through emails and Google, and it's amazing what you can do with social media.
Right. And this is awesome. So as we're having this hangout right now, I think I got 3 notices of people who joined my Saturday Sanctuary mailing list so they could get this training in their inbox this week so that they can see what you have to share with us, Don.
We'll do more, and seriously, if whatever you're doing with your business, if you can just start to like take small steps to grow your social media platform, it's going to help you no matter what. I mean, and it'll take a little time if you're starting from like ground zero, but I mean, like I said, I had no Twitter followers. I had like 1,000 LinkedIn connections that I had gathered over the previous like 7 years before August, and now it's like 6,000 and 10,000 Twitter followers, and and you can do it too. It's not hard, and once you do it, it's going to make everything else with your business that much easier because you can get your words out to like I like to say all the time, everyone has the ability now to reach more people out there than every speech that was ever given in the previous 6,000 years, just by sending out a tweet or doing a YouTube video. The possibilities are endless with social media, and that's how you can geometrically increase your chances of success by reaching out to as many people as you can.
Awesome. And so you can find me, Leslie Lane Peabody, or Ninjas in High Heels, and you can link to my blog, you can link to my web page, you can link to my business page, you can link to my personal page. Don, how can they find you?
They can Google the book Kahuna,
The
and
Book Kahuna. I love that name.
and I will show up in a lot of different areas. I have a YouTube channel with 80 videos. I have a WordPress site. I have my Empower, which is thebookkahuna.net, and I have thebookkahuna.com, which is going to be my web portal for digital products, which is going to launch in the next month.
Awesome.
So just Google the book Kahuna, and I'll be there.
All right, and if you're watching live and you need that written down, as soon as this video is posted to YouTube, Don and I will post our written links below. I will also post the income disclosure so you can see what normal people who don't work make in the Empower Network versus us crazy people who are willing to get up at 7 in the morning on a Saturday and do a hangout to show you how to grow your LinkedIn profile. And Don, I want you to hold me accountable. You're going to be my accountability partner for this. I'm going to get 6,000 LinkedIn followers. I'll go in when we're done here. 6,000 LinkedIn followers in 6 months just like you, because I can do it if you can do it.
And I know you can. So I want to see you beat me.
All righty. Yeah, we have to have friendly competition, right? It's all in
That's
the...
that's right.
All right. So we're going to sign off Saturday Sanctuary now. Thank you so much for spending your Saturday morning with us. I want to give a special thanks to my good friend Don. It is 7 a.m. Now it's 8 a.m. in the Denver metro area, and that's where Don is from. Don and I are both from Denver. I know this is early. I know for some of you, if you're on the Pacific Coast time, this is even earlier than it is for us. But people who get extraordinary results do the extraordinary. And it's as simple as getting up at 7 a.m. and watching a hangout and then applying. The magic is not in attending. The magic is in the application. So if you want to join and go and grow your LinkedIn followers, let's just do LinkedIn this week. This week I'm going to work on LinkedIn. I'm going to grow my LinkedIn followers to 6,000 within 6 months. Who wants to join me? Don will watch us and he'll help us, and probably he'll be at 20,000 by the time we but that's okay because we're all growing together, right?
That's right, because if we're all interconnected, then it helps all of us.
That's right. So the Book Kahuna and Ninjas in High Heels wish you adieu and have a great Saturday morning. Get working on those LinkedIn profiles today, folks. Talk to you later, and we'll talk to you soon.
Hey, this is Don Schmidt, the Book Kahuna. Just wanted to make you aware of something for the Empower Network. Just reading the income disclaimer, and I'd really urge you to all look at the income disclaimer that's on this video. The Empower Network hosts one of the largest blogging communities and publishing platforms online, as well as provides high-level educational training, products, and services to online marketers. We also offer an affiliate program where affiliates can earn commissions off the sales of our products. We do not collect information regarding the results our members get as a result of using our products, as that is proprietary to them. Empower Network pays a commission pursuant to the current compensation plan, which is available here. The data shown below is current for the date range shown and is updated frequently. Study our commission structure and the data below. Discuss our company with professional advisors and experienced affiliate marketers before deciding to purchase or promote any of Empower Network's products. Empower Network does not guarantee that you will make any money from your use or promotion of our products and services. I urge you all to look at the rest of this page, and that is the Empower Network disclosure. Thank you very much for listening.